Okay.
You're on the page. Is this the actual page?
Oh, yeah,
there you go.
there it is, yeah.
There. Now. It should.
Very good, yeah.
Mhm.
Here. Yeah. Okay.
we have.
Oh, wait, okay.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
yeah.
We have.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Noke Wrestling News. I'm your host, Randall Sell, and with me I've got co-host Jake Duvall. I've got, we've got a special technology person working tonight. Coach Yetzer's back there working in technology. So
Definitely missed Blake Rosenbaum. I'm being here, but we'll make it through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be back. And so Coach Yetzer will join us in a little bit. We'll break down the schedule, the full breakdown of the schedule for this year. And next on tap, we have the head coach, head football coach of Roanoke's first program, Coach Brian Steinspring. So we'll call him up. I'm going to stumble, yeah. So I think we've got him online.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
Yep.
We have him?
Yep.
Coach, are you with us?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Can't hear him yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's all right. We'll blame it on our new tech guy. We miss him again.
Yeah, we do, but just to reiterate, Coach Steinspring, heading up the Roanoke College football team. I think this is a team took a break in 1942 and haven't had a team at Roanoke College since. So really excited to get Roanoke back in the Valley, get football back in the Roanoke
I
Valley.
mean, my mic's on, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. Super excited.
Can you hear us, Coach? Can you hear us, Coach?
Yeah, I can
You
hear
can hear
you
us?
well. I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, you can hear us. Okay, we can't hear you yet. So
Hold on, we're
It's all
working
good.
on it.
So, Coach.
no, you can't hear
You
us.
can't hear us.
Yeah. Or you can hear us. We just can't hear him yet.
I got you. So,
Let's talk about the first game. The first game was last week or 2 weekends ago, and
It's all on,
second
right?
highest ever attended Division III football game. So it's a pretty remarkable.
We can hear you.
Considering it's the first game since 1942, and still undefeated. They won this past weekend too,
yeah,
so still undefeated since 1942.
Yeah, a lot of us were at that first home game, and I know they played Hampton Sydney JV and won by 34-27, which is incredible for a team that probably has only been practicing for about 2 months now, and obviously all the recruiting that goes along with it, just getting the facility set up. I know personally being there, it was crazy to see. I think I showed up about 2 hours before kickoff, and the parking lot was like full. So that was really cool to see. I think every year, year after, we're going to see more and more tailgating, more and more fans, join the fun, for Roanoke. 9,150 fans in attendance physically at the stadium, which I think maxes out the stadium. So it's really, really cool to see all the involvement from the community. I mean, you've lived in the Roanoke Valley forever, and football is definitely a pivotal part of the culture around here. And I think it's really exciting to have football back in the area, especially at the D3 levels.
All right.
Forever, and football.
All right, I think we're good to go. Go ahead.
all right, Coach, can you hear us now?
I hear you well. Can you hear me?
You still can't hear us.
No, he can hear us. We just can't hear.
Yeah.
No, I can hear you.
I think we're good to go.
I hear you fine. My little message is saying.
All right, we got him now.
Okay,
So-
we're good?
Oops.
All right. So Coach, now that we
Yeah.
got you and we got everything working, I think we have a little delay on our end. But what are your ties to the Roanoke College, if you have any? And if you have any ties or not, like why choose Roanoke? Why Roanoke College?
It's a great question. You guys are hot off the press right away here, I see. So, I'm born and raised 45 minutes from here. And most of my entire life, probably 90-some% of it has been in this general area within an hour or so. So I recruited this area, been a part of this area for a long time. So I'm well aware of Roanoke and Salem. Roanoke College, the aspect of it became really important to me for a feasibility study to see if football was a viable thought here at Roanoke College. And the longer I was a part of that feasibility, the more intrigued I became to be the head football coach here. I think it's a great school and a great area, tremendous support. So that's really where the whole the movement towards being the head coach became really important to me.
So talk a little bit about that first game against, Hampton City a couple of weeks ago. I mean, what were your expectations for the team, the community, the environment? Did it exceed your expectations? Or just kind of talk about like how that was for you as a coach, but also for your players as well.
It was an exciting time. This is the first time in my career. And I told my friends, I told members of our staff, I didn't really know what was, for the first time in over 35 years of coaching collegiate athletics, I was going to step out into a field and not know what to expect. And I mean that. I had my phone in my pocket. I was waiting for a phone call that the gates weren't open, that this wasn't ready. There was a multitude of things. I really did not know what to expect. But I can assure you a lot of work went into this, a lot of support went into this. And I've stepped into a lot of venues in my career, whether it's in Columbus, Ohio, or wherever it is. And when I stepped out of the locker room for the final time to lead the team onto the field, I stopped to take it all in. And a friend of mine said, I looked at you, you said, wow. And I did. And because it was an impressive setting, considering that we had just really started this thing in January, and to where I know where we were to get to this point was just amazing to me. And to see the people that were there, students, coaches like yourselves, the whole Salem, Roanoke area, was just really amazing. And then I think our players, we kind of came out a little shaky. I think they got a little caught up in the moment, but we settled down and played for a group that had only been together for 24 days to kind of go out there and put it all together and find a way to be successful at the end of it. It capped a really special day and a special moment for me personally.
Yeah. So, Coach, talk about. So then you build on that, and then you face the Shenandoah, and you win again. So, what do you want to see moving forward?
That's called a winning streak.
Yeah.
That's a winning streak.
we have a long way to go, and a lot of areas to improve, and we keep addressing that part of it. And we had to travel for the first time, which again, did we bring the helmets? Who's got the shoes? Who's got the? There's a lot of things. Do we have a place to eat? Do we have something to eat? Who's got the water bottle? So it was a lot. And I don't think we got off to a great start, but our team they didn't panic. They don't panic. They just keep playing. There's a little resiliency about them that they're starting to build on that part of it. So, to be able to go on the road for the first time and handle that part of it, everything to me is a learning experience, is a growing and developing. It's for us as a staff. It's not only just for our players, but it's our school. What does this look like? You guys understand that yourselves, but it's just we have to develop and learn and grow week to week and day to day. And as long as we keep developing our players and we keep getting better and understanding the dynamics and what it means to be successful both on and off the field, that's really everything to me revolves around development right now. And I'm not just talking about our players. I'm talking about our staff, us working together for the first time. How do we communicate during a game? The flow of information. There's just every day is a learning experience, and if we can continue to learn and grow, we'll be in good shape.
Coach, do you think it makes it harder being a new program because, like you're talking about those things, none of those things were done before, so you're kind of figuring those things out as you go. I think that you're speaking to a little bit about that with the communication piece, but do you think it's a good thing that everything is a blank slate, so the kids don't know any better? Does that make it easier or does that make it harder?
The answer is yes and yes. Because it makes it easier because the players don't know better. We're going to practice 5 times. Okay, coach, here we go. We're going to practice for 2 hours. Okay, coach, here we go.
Yeah.
So there's that newness part of it that is fantastic. And, the players, there's nobody here that's gone through this. So, we're going to get on a bus. We're going to stop at a rest area. Okay, coach, here we go. Whatever. Pass out the peanut butter sandwiches. Here we go. So, but it makes it very difficult. There's no one for them to lean on. They are the seniors.
Yep.
And who could show them the ropes? What does this really look like? What is a tight group? So as I tell our staff, we got to be that guy. And we have to assume that role until we develop our leaders, till we develop the guys that can and know how. And so we spend a lot of time on that as a staff, how we're going to structure the culture, building the culture, identifying who we are. Because the biggest thing we got to do is create an identity about who we are. And I think that's taken a lot of time, and that will to continue to be a work in progress.
So, this year, Roanoke College football is competing at the club level. Next year, Roanoke College will graduate to the D3 level. And obviously a big part of that is going to be, recruiting. So I guess for you, Coach, what type of recruits are you looking for in your student athletes to build the program?
Well, obviously they have to be a good student. We're at a great school with a great reputation, and you have to be able to handle the course load here in order to get that diploma. So that's a big part of it, as always. But I think for us, to me, we want talent. Obviously, everybody wants talent, but we're looking for guys that are goal oriented, along with that talent, that they are goal oriented, they're driven, they're competitive, that being okay is not okay, that there's a bigger game out there, there's a higher level that you can get to. So sometimes we get so caught up in the talent, we miss the drive at the end. What's their drive? Or do they have aspirations, and what are they? And I think we can find goal-oriented people that are good not only in the classroom, but whether it's football or other sports that they play in, that they're really searching. For us, we always say, who is willing to constantly work to be the best version of yourself type of guy. And so those are the things that I think we really search out. There's always the talent piece, whatever sport, but find those ones that really love the game, have a passion that creates energy and enthusiasm, and they're driven to pursue to be the best that they can be. And that's an element, I think, as we moved on in college athletics, we've gotten away from a lot. And sometimes the dynamics of where we are in terms of the last couple of years in athletics, that has a lot to do with it. But I just think we got to continue to find those guys that are goal-oriented, competitive, and have a drive to be the best version of themselves.
Coach, so do you have any connection with wrestling?
I do. At first, I want to say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I was a basketball. I played 3 sports in high school. Okay. I was a football, basketball, baseball guy. Okay. And all of a sudden, when I started about my 10th grade year, my jump shot started coming back at me. My vertical wasn't very, I started growing this way and not this way. And, so I said, I don't know if basketball's for me. Well, back then, I didn't know that you had a choice. My coach comes up to us, you're not playing basketball. I go, no. He said, you're wrestling. I didn't know I had a choice.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I could say, no, I'm not. Okay, so I did. Yeah. And I mean this. And Coach Esther will tell you this from our days together, Virginia Tech, and there's been some great wrestling coaches there. Nate's one of them. But I started wrestling as a junior. And let me tell you something. We played into the playoffs my junior year, so we're in pretty good shape. I think I'm in really good shape until I stepped on a wrestling mat.
Yeah.
And I got into the period rotation. And I'm like, hey, do we get the huddle? Do we get 25 seconds here for a huddle? And I realized this is a whole new dynamic. This is a whole nother level in terms of what it takes to be fast paced for 3 straight minutes, that you're exerting yourself for 3. There is no time. Can I get a 20-second timeout or is it a full timeout? No. And so I immediately gained this ultimate respect for wrestling just from that dynamic part of it. And then name a sport that you got to get out of a chair and walk onto a mat and there's nobody around you. It's you and somebody else. And the result of whatever takes place in those minutes, it's you. You can't blame the quarterback because he overthrew you. You can't blame the offensive line because they didn't block anybody. It's you. How great is that? And I'm going to tell you, my first wrestling match as a heavyweight, I sat there and watched it. We were up 3, we're down 2, we're up 3. I got this realization that not only is this going to be my first match, it was going to come to my match.
Yep.
And it takes a little bit. I mean, there were a few moments I was going to have to get somebody. Hey, you're going to have to go out here. You're going to have to go out there. So I wrestled and I had a lot of success. I loved it. I messed around with it at Madison. That was when this kind of Title IX was kicking in and it was reduced. So you could kind of jump in there every now and then. And I jumped in there one time and I jumped out real quick. Because if you're not in it, if you're not full-time in it, you won't survive in it. And that's a good thing. And so I have tremendous respect. I would sit down. Coach Etchell will tell you when I was at Tech, I'd go up to their wrestling room. I'd watch you practice. I'd keep my mouth shut. I'd just watch. I'll pop in downstairs when I can to watch, practice. I'm at your wrestling matches. I have tremendous respect. I think it is a fantastic sport. I was blessed to be a part of it. I wish I'd have done it earlier. I think it helped me as a football player. There is a mental toughness that's innate in wrestlers that we can all learn from. I tell my players all the time. Nate, I sat down with Nate. I asked him a very significant question. You asked about recruiting. I said, tell me what you're looking for. And he nailed it. He nailed it for me. And I've been recruiting for 100 years. Okay? He nailed it. I'm looking for the guy when it's 2-2 in period 3 that finds a way to win. That's who you want.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And that's what I was getting to earlier. Find the guys that are driven. Find the guys that are going to, that have a goal. I'm going to be this. I will not fail. I will succeed. And those like that. And I tell our guys, my staff all the time, find the guys that find a way to win. That they're not going to, they won't fold under adversity. There's adversity. Am I getting ready to give up the single leg and I'll find a way to hold it off? I got to get up. I can't stay down. I got to get in the find a way when you're tired. There's the most adversity will define you. How you handle adversity and when you're tired, it will define you. And I think wrestling doesn't. I think it's fantastic that way. My hat's off to you. I feel that way. Nate knows I'm not just saying this for this podcast. I've said it. I believe it. There's a lot to learn from the sport.
You got me fired up. I'm fired up. I'm ready to sign Roanoke football right now. I had one catch for 25 yards, like my whole career.
That's all right. That means you got another one in you somewhere.
I do think they do parallel, Coach. I think you're spot on. I mean, a lot of the things that makes them successful in wrestling make them successful in football, and you hit that nail on the head. So, well,
I think it makes it successful in football and successful in wrestling. But I think some of these unique qualities that it's taught, gives you a chance to be successful in life too.
Absolutely.
Because there's going to be moments. I promise you, no matter how good it is, there's a bump. There's an adverse situation that you got to be able to handle, and how you manage that. I've reached back to what I've learned on the field or on a mat or somewhere in my life has got me through it.
100%.
Yep, 100%. You're right. That's right. So, well, Coach, what do we look forward to in the next few weeks with Roanoke football here? What do we got coming up?
Well, we have Bridgewater in a couple weeks. That'll be our last ODAC game. It got pushed back a week because of something was going on with Bridgewater. So we have an opportunity here to kind of step back. We're self-scouting ourselves as an offense and a defense about what we're doing, what's been successful. We're looking at ourselves a lot. We're looking at our team. We're going to lift them probably a little bit more in these next couple of weeks because we don't play for actually 3 weeks. So we have time. Then the following week we're going to practice pretty extensively. But this week we're lifting a lot, and we're kind of evaluating where we are as a team, as a staff, and what can we really address and earmark is these are areas we got to do. Like tomorrow, if you came to our practice, it's going to be a lot of drills. Very little team stuff, just a lot of individual drills. We got to kind of get back to simplifying and being really good in our footwork, really good in our eyes, really good in our balance and our stances. Same thing you're doing. We're going to be in more drills tomorrow than we will be in any team period. And we got to continue to get back to the basics of being better fundamentally and technique guys.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on. We're really excited.
It's been my pleasure. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time on this evening and joining us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hey, good
Thank you
luck.
very much.
Yes, good luck, Coach.
Bye.
All right, Noke Wrestling News. We're going to head to a commercial real quick. We'll be right back.
I heard you died twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time is the last time that somebody mentions your name. So when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is exodus, searching for euphoria, judging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring us. 20,000 deep up in the street like we some warriors. My mama told me never bow your head.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am.
As you can see,
I couldn't forget.
pretty mad in my
I
opinion.
made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see
And y'all are family.
sunrise. Now I feel
That's a wrap. 2024, Nope Team Camp.
glorious.
I'm feeling glorious. Sun came out. I went about a drop.
Okay. You're good.
All right. Welcome back. Now we have Coach Yetzer with us.
All right.
Join us after
I got
Coach
fired up, man.
Salisbury.
Signing's awesome.
Man, I mean, like words of wisdom. I mean,
Yep.
like, seriously, I felt like I was going to play for him.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we have,
congrats. I mean, 2-0. That's awesome. I know it's JV this year, but a club team this year. But still, like I can definitely I lived it. This is my third startup program, so I've lived it. Like you don't realize you have to have your hand in everything. You know what I mean? Starting a program, just make sure it's done right. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night sometimes, like the day before, like, did we bring the singlets? Like, did we do this? Did I register the guys? Can't remember. A lot going on. So, man, hats off to those guys.
well, I mean, it kind of paralleled what you did, right? Like starting that whole program, it was kind of a lot of the same.
Yeah, I mean, probably
same
same battles.
Yeah.
Those are the battles that are like, you can solve those pretty easy. Then on top of that, you got a bunch of young kids,
Right.
and so not a lot of leadership because they're so young, trying to feel their way through there. So, no, it's fun, but it's very hard. Like that's why I'll never start another program again. It's just it takes a lot out of you,
Right.
to get up and running. But once you get up running, like this is year 4 for us. I mean, we're man, I love this team. This team kind of does a great job. So.
Well, I will say on this end, on a recruiting end, though, I mean, to have a football team, to be able to tailgate, like that's
Huge. Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of small schools have that, first
Yeah.
off. And then, I mean, it's just a social event that could bring your team together and the community together. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I think, I mean, it's when we drove to the stadium, the first football game, I didn't know what to expect. And as I was going there, wasn't a lot of traffic. So I was like, oh, it's probably not going to reach out. But, it's a club year. And then you get over there, it was like, man, everybody was tailgating. It was awesome. The whole Salem Civic Center parking lot was full. And hopefully keep that same energy next year. And it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Do you think next year, since it'll be a full blown D3 program, you think Running College Wrestling's gonna have their own tailgate there.
Oh yeah, man. That was a plan. I mean, I love football. Like football is actually my first love. Like I love football, like everything about it. And, but I was telling Coach Stisbury, my first catch was my only catch was like my 8th grade year. I remember I caught a pass and like I turned and started running. There's nothing but green field ahead of me for 25 yards, 20 yards. And I remember just taking off and then looking back over my shoulder. I got like 2 linemen chasing me down. And then I realized like, man, this is like, I'm not very fat. Like, this is not going to be in the cards for me to try to be anybody to make it to college as a football player. So, but I still loved it. It was awesome. Yep. So it'd be a good time.
We're good. So we're going to break down the schedule.
Yeah, we're finally kind of done with all the details. And so, I'm excited. We're kicking off the year again, Southeast
I'm
Open.
gonna stop you before we get started.
Yeah.
We just want to throw out there, if you guys have questions for Coach, as we go through the schedule, go ahead and put those out there, and we'll try to answer those at the end. So,
Yep. Those any questions about the schedule?
Yeah.
About how Spring is, I'll tell you how the background in him. No, I'm just joking. This is our best schedule to date. I mean, I think we have a group of 24 seniors this year, which is a pretty special thing. And so I wanted to really challenge the guys this year, and got everybody back from last year pretty much. So it should be a really fun year. We kick it off at Southeast Open again. We'll probably, because the front part of our schedule is so tough, we'll probably be holding some guys out of the Southeast Open that we normally would wrestle. But we should just have a really good crew, probably 30 guys, I imagine, going to wrestle the Southeast Open.
Same kind of schools coming to the Southeast?
Yeah. It's in collaboration with Virginia Tech. So, I mean, they kind of know what schools are coming. We kind of stay out of that. Ours, we're the more facility end of the thing. So, last year I think we had Oregon State there. Friday night too. I think at 7 p.m. Virginia Tech actually wrestles Chattanooga at our place. So
that's
yeah. So so you Hokie fans, come on out. It should be a great match. So
will that also be in the Krager Center?
that'll be in the arena. It's actually the part that we wrestle in. Okay, be at the Krager Center arena.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Not the track, but the
not the track. Yep. And then right after the meet, we'll tear down and put get the mats out and be ready to go for the Southeast Open the next day. So So we start off at Southeast Open, and then we'll go. Quite a few guys will go unattached. The rest of the unattached Southeast Open, but also go unattached to the Cougar Classic down at Averett, Danville, Virginia. It's only an hour and a half for us. Good drive. Last year I think we had 5 champs. And a couple of the weights we had. I think we had all 4 of our guys made it to the quarterfinals, and I think one of the weight classes actually had all 4 semifinals too. So, but it's just a great. Our guys get a lot of matches in for one day. It's really good for our young guys. Very good for young guys. So we'll do that again. Then we kick off the ODAC. We generally don't try to schedule ODAC matches till second semester, but this year just kind of worked out where we head up to Lexington, Virginia. We wrestle Washington Lee for the for first ODAC match. And they returned a good portion of their team. They lost 2 pretty good guys, but they're loading up. They're going to be pretty good this year, and it should be. I'd say that's probably our biggest rival right now. So looking forward to get up there and wrestle those guys. So last year we lost to them. I can't believe we lose to them at Bud White Hill Duels. Yep, for 3rd and 4th. And then this year, then the next weekend, I think we wrestled with the Mill Mountain match and knocked them off. So. That kind of led the way for our ODAC title. So then we go to our newest event this year. We're going up to right outside New York City. We're going to wrestle Stevens Institute of Technology in Castleton. So shout out to Ryan Fouts, a senior for us last year. Who's now the enemy. He's the assistant coach at Castleton.
Is he really? Wow.
Yeah, you didn't know that? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's been up there ever since the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, they work camps up there, and I talked to him like a week and a half ago. He loves it. He's doing it's like he says it's a lot like Ferrum actually, where it's like there's a school and then in any direction. There's not much going on, but he said that they had a really good team last year. They actually won the Citrus Invitational, which we finished second at. They beat us, and they got their whole team back this year. Okay, so they're going to be really good. And Stevens is they 5 out of 6 years they won the regional title in our region. So it's gonna be a heck of a movie.
So is I know Stevens was in the region. Are they with the new shifts and everything?
They are not.
Okay,
So they left. I'd say the top teams that left so there's 7 regions throughout the country now versus 6. And then we actually, the ODAC conference broke away from the Southeast region, and we're going up to more the Central region, which is a lot of the Ohio schools. So it's going to be the ODAC schools, the OAC schools, which is led by Baldwin Wallace, Ohio Northern, and then the PAC schools, which is Washington Jefferson, Waynesburg, St. Vincent, a couple of those schools like that. So it's basically those 3 conferences that are in the region. So it should be a really good region. Probably just as good as last year, I would think. Baldwin Wallace, obviously, they had 8 qualifiers last year. They returned both their finalists and 2-time NCAA champions. So they're probably the favorites coming in, but I like where we're at too. So, so I wanted to see those guys. We scheduled this before the regions got broken up, but it's good to see those guys, Stevens and Castleton. Then we had at the New Standard Invitational in York, Pennsylvania, which half our team goes there. The other half the team goes to Blue Jay Classic in Elizabethtown. Kind of the same area. So we actually stay at the same hotel, and we just go our separate ways when it comes down to wrestling. So that's a great, New Standard's a great kind of barometer where we're at. I think we finished 4th or 5th there last year. So some really good teams there. So I think with Mark Samuel was our lone champ there last year. So I'm excited for that one. That's November. So that's a brutal November in December. So and then after that we go to the we go to the Gator Duels, which we'll probably see Baldwin Wallace there. That's in Nashville, Tennessee. That's my personal favorite event. Nashville's a great town. So.
Last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually wrestled Baldwin Wallace at that tournament last year.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great dual meet. It started off Mac wrestled Decatur, was a national champ 2 years ago, runner-up the year before. Mac wrestled him and ended up dropping a real close match in overtime, actually. And then we had some good matches and back and forth matches. We actually ended up losing. I think the matches were split 6-4, maybe even 5-5, but we lost because we had to give some bonus points along the way. So, but we competed really hard. I was really proud of us. We ended up going 3-1 that weekend, so it was a good weekend. Yeah, so we're definitely going to wrestle Baldwin Wallace again there as well. So that's a fun event. And then we go to we head back up to Lexington for the Chrysler Memorial Tournament. That one we usually take most of the backups and young guys to that one. So that kind of gives our guys, our starters, a little bit of a break as we start getting into the ODAC season. So and then we're kind of like that's kind of the halfway point as far as for us. We got finals week and we're starting to get on Christmas break then. So take a little bit of a break and then we get right back on it. So and then open up.
Speaking of break, we're going to go to our next commercial and then we'll finish the schedule.
Yeah.
The sun came out. I went about a drop top. Part on the block. Looking like car lot. Looking on thoughts. Sticking in a soft spot. Counter at the top. Looking like skybox. Honey got us all hot. I live in the ball lot. You went about a mall watch.
Jen,
All right, welcome back, everybody.
I got it.
We're back at it, getting for the second half of the schedule here. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So right after Christmas, after the guys come back, and then we head over to Lynchburg, Virginia, to wrestle Randolph College, their first year. So
and the head coach is one of your old guys,
Paul Biggs.
Coach
Paul Biggs. He's probably listening right now. I'm trying to get some secrets and stuff. Coach Biggs, good friend of all of ours, and you've been golfing with Paul.
No.
I figured you'd be golfing with him.
No, I haven't had that pleasure yet.
Yeah. So but Paul, his first year, and he's really excited, and just because he wrestled for me doesn't mean we're being easy on him. My goal is to beat him 60-0. Just because I always want to be able to hold on to that. I'm just joking, Paul, but I'm not joking. So, but then we go to the Bud White Hill Duels, which is one of my favorite events. I mean, it was we went last year for the first time. We usually went to Virginia Duels, but I wanted to take a little break. I've been to Virginia Duels we went there at Virginia Tech the whole time I was there, pretty much. And then all my years at Ferrum, and then the first couple of years at Roanoke, and I wanted to change something up. So and it was a great event, great town. Williamsport's a great town. So So we went back up there again, and we're gonna go back up again this year. So a lot of dual meets up there, and then we turn around. We have our first rural home match. We have Shenandoah University. It's senior night. That'll probably take 6 hours because we have the 24 seniors next year. We're gonna try to get them all matched. I don't know.
So come early.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But just to celebrate those guys, we'll have a big social afterwards, and just really special group of guys that kind of laid the groundwork for the things all the great things we've done so far this early in the program. So definitely want to celebrate those guys, and what a great way to do that. So
Could you highlight the date for that one again?
yeah, that's going to be on that's January 16th.
Okay.
Yep, January 16th. So I got these little schedules here.
I'm surprised you can read it.
yeah, get close a little bit. So, but then the 19th, January 19th, we were doing the match at the Mill Mountain Theater again. Really excited about that. This year we have Ferrum coming in. Probably one of the last times we're going to wrestle them. They're moving up to Division 3 or Division 2 this year, at the end of this year, and so another one of my former wrestlers, Logan Meister, the head coach there, and doing great things. And I'm excited to wrestle those guys. So. Especially that venue is awesome. Obviously, you guys did all the announcing there. It was
We actually did it last year. We
That was the one day that we couldn't.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But hopefully this year we.
Yeah, I mean that's the one that you want to circle. Like for me, I want to be
Exactly.
Yeah, that was just a cool venue. The setup too, how they did it. Kind of like MMA style, where they had we had that EJ Johnson. Oh man, he's gonna kill me. I forgot the announcer did a great job of interviewing guys right after the match, kind of when they're just got done in the heat of the moment. Because then there's no filter generally. If you get right in the moment, so it was pretty cool to see those guys.
And you never know what they're going to say.
Yeah. Which is good and bad, but most of them did a really good job. So that was a really cool event. So I'm excited for that one. Then the next weekend we go to back up to Elizabethtown to the Over Invitational. That was a great event. And both events, the Blue Jay and that one, I think we finished second at both those events last year. So I'm hoping we can punch through. Not everybody wrestled in that event, mostly young guys and some of the backups. So, but that's just a great event, because most of our guys will be training. The 10 stars will be training for the big one, the Pete Wilson Invitational, which is the following weekend.
And that's the one in Chicago. Correct?
Yep, right outside Wheaton, Illinois. It's awesome. I'd say I think there was 42 teams last year there. Quick story. I remember the first year I went to that. And I actually meant to ask Steinstring this. What's like one thing you didn't really know about Division 3? For me, early on, it was like every year for like the first 5 years, I'd hear a bunch of teams I'd never even heard of. I didn't know there were colleges that called that. So it was like, just all these really small schools. It was just kind of cool, And going to Pete Wilson, I remember the first year I missed it because my wife was in labor. But the next year I went, I remember so many teams in the Midwest. I'm like, I don't even know, Augustana. Like, what is that? I've never heard that. So that's kind of cool. But I remember we finished 41st out of 42 teams.
Oh no.
And then fast forward, several years later, I think 4 or 5 years later, we finished second. You know what I mean? So this is pretty cool event. So that place always has a special place in my heart because we really turned the corner that year. And it's cool to see that. So
not because your wife was in labor.
Well, that was the year before. That was the year before. I'm not even sure. I think it was Ethan. I think about Ethan. Yeah, good save. Yeah, call me out. Then we wrestled Greensboro College at our place. Obviously I'm really looking forward to 141 Mark Samuel versus Josh Wilson. The guy, Josh Wilson's
back.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah. It's like, this is his last year. So
sure.
Defending national champion versus Mark, who took third, and actually our region, Ohio Northern is our region now, and that's to get to finish second. So the first, second, and third ranked guys in the country are all in the same region next year.
It's crazy stacked once again. So real quick back on the region. So we used to have 6 and top 4. Went to top 3.
Yep.
Okay. Is it still the same now that we're splitting to 7?
Yeah, there'll be 21 qualifiers now.
Okay.
So, which is awesome. I'm actually shocked it went through, but yeah, we'll have 21 qualifiers now. So 7 regions. I think our region pretty much stayed the same as far as like depth and talent.
Mm-hmm.
Got about the same number of teams.
You lost some good ones. Some good ones.
Lost Stevens, and then we lost we lost Wilkes, the Lycomings, which had a lot of really good individuals, right? So, but it's going to be stacked. It'll be pretty good, right? Um,
So you trade some Pennsylvania for Ohio.
yeah, exactly.
That's what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Southern Virginia, we duel Southern Virginia. We go up to Buena Vista this year to wrestle them. And they return a lot of their teams. Those guys, they're going to give you a great effort every single time. So, and then on the 8th, February 8th, we wrestle Averett at our place. We actually have the Star City Classic during the day, and in the evening we break it down to one mat. We actually have the Averett duel meet. So there's a good chance that's going to come down. I think that might be for the ODAC title again this year. So like it was last year. Last year it came down to us and Averett. Averett lost to Washington Lee. We beat Washington Lee. So if we would have lost, it would have been a three-way tie again.
Like the year before.
Yeah, it would have been the second in a row. And it might even, who knows, it might happen again this year.
They're returning most of their wrestlers, do you know?
Yeah, I think so. I believe a big part of their starters are going to be seniors this year. I think one kid's come back for a fifth year.
I was going to say.
Yeah. So, and then they had a couple kids that actually sat out. They're pretty good. One in particular was National Qualifiers freshman. He's coming back. So they're going to be pretty good. I mean, they're going to be stacked, and Washington Lee's going to be really good. And, so it's the conference is getting really, really good.
Right.
And then with the addition of Lynchburg, which is one of our main competitors as a team or as a school, like a lot of the sports, that's one of the biggest competitors. They're joining the conference the following year with the brand new team. So, and then we end up with then we go to the ODAC championships, which will be in Lexington, Virginia this year. Then and then we go to the regional championships, which are to be announced. We don't know where its location is. It will not be in Roanoke, unfortunately. But then the national tournament's 2 weeks after that in Providence, Rhode Island. So that's our schedule, and I think it's pretty great schedule. I'm really excited about it. So
Yeah, well, let's look at those questions. Do we have any questions out there
Yes.
in for Coach?
Michelle Turner said, "Hi, coaches. What tournament or tournaments are you most looking forward to this year?"
Well, for me, it's definitely the New York City one. Going up to New York City, just two really great duels. I love dual meets anyways. I love dual meets that are like, that real tight, both those dual meets they'll be a battle. The Stevens, after what we did to our place last year, and they're going to want some revenge. They got a new coach, but Coach Bonaventura is a great guy. He'll be up there as well now with his first year of the program. So that one, then obviously get to see Coach Fouts. I actually don't think he'll be at that dual meet, but he's taking guys to another tournament. But obviously, I don't want to rub it into him too and beat those guys. Yeah, so that's probably my favorite one. I think.
Yeah, I think as a fan, the one I'm looking forward to is the Mill Mountain one's always a fun one. But
and obviously you're tight with Meister too. Love Coach
exactly,
Meister.
it'd be a lot
fun.
fun to beat them. But I think like home match wise, actually, I don't think it's a home match this year. Averett's not home, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
it's our last home match. Yeah.
Regardless, I think that's going to be as it is always every year. I think
it's
that's
chippy. Yeah, it gets a little chippy. Yeah, that's a great. But as far as one standalone dual meet, I think probably that was my favorites too. Yeah. So great atmosphere. It'd be a fun atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Karen Pominville said, "So with the changes in the region, will the region qualifier send more wrestlers on to the NCAA tournament?"
Yes. Yep. Short answer: yes. 21 guys will go instead of 18. Which is long overdue. We have 125 programs next year and only 21 qualifiers. So relatively speaking, it's like if you go by numbers, we're the hardest by far division to qualify for the national tournament. So it's a big deal, right? So it's long overdue, and I think eventually they're going to be going to 8 regions. It just makes sense. So.
Mm-hmm. That's it on the questions.
Yeah.
Do you want to highlight any of the upcoming events?
Yeah, we just got some great news today. Thanks to one of our generous donors. Last week we put out there, and everybody got the email, I'm sure, but we had one of our donors come forward and say he'll match up to $10,000. Really, two donors came forward. They'll match up to $10,000. We have a week to raise to match that 10, right? So, and then tonight I got a call or text message from one of our donors, and he said he'll cover. He asked how short we were. I told him, and he's covering the rest of it. That's good. That gets us to 10,000. That unlocks the other 10,000. So today was a good day. We're up to, I think, $27,000 or $26,000 of our goal of 50,000. We're halfway there. Tomorrow's a big night. We have the telethon tomorrow night. So you guys don't silence your notifications. All right. So
Decline.
that's all right. We'll just keep calling it. So no, but we have a big telethon tomorrow starting at 7:00. Just even if you can't donate, we want to call people and know we're appreciative of all the support because this obviously does some great things this young in our program, but our goal as a program, and if you ask the guys, we're a national titles team, right? The only way to do that is you have to have support, right? Financial support and just support from fans and administration. And I think we're well on our way. I really feel confident that we're going to do some great things. And, but again, it's going to take time, and we're going to hold up our end and keep working our tail ends off and keep bringing in great young men in our program. And we appreciate everybody's support out there. So including you guys, appreciate you guys. And my lovely wife. Yeah. But yes, we'll do that. And then we have this Saturday the cornhole tournament, which is getting moved inside. I'm going to send an email about that, but we'll be moving that inside the Krager Center because we've got a big storm coming in, I guess, but 100% chance of rain.
Might be a little bit more flat in the Krager.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, yeah, you're probably
I
right.
still blame our loss because that board was crooked.
Who's team? Are you playing? Are you teaming up?
I'll be out of town.
They've got that.
Yeah, we're out of town.
Yeah,
It's family weekend. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah, a lot of schools have been with it. Yeah, a couple of our kids, our team, siblings, are out they have the same thing. So then we have we also have the Meet the Maroons open practice. You come in and watch the guys scrap, and it's just kind of a captain-led thing, and be fun to watch. That's on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And then that's it. Then we have our athletic giving day, which is on the 9th. But anything up to this point counts toward that. So we have some fun things happening.
It's awesome.
Yeah, great ways. I mean, any way to help out. I mean, you talked about having support, but you've got to wrestle that competition. You have to go. You have to travel. I mean, that's just.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I think our parents here really appreciate our schedule. Like just as far as we try to throw some unique stuff in there, and obviously I think our home matches we got a couple of cool new things happening in our home matches. I'm not gonna spoil it yet, but I think especially the men they'll enjoy it. So, women too, I guess. I think it'll be a good time.
Well, Coach, I can appreciate every year you're like,
something's
coming.
Yeah,
I mean, I love it. I love it.
Keep changing it up, right? So, but it should be a fun year. So I'm excited.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank
This episode, Coach Steinspring, thanks. Wish you guys the best of luck moving forward, and hopefully we'll see you out there on some of those tailgates. And until next time, guys.